Okay, that's it. Because it's Shakyamuni Buddha birthday, supposed to be, so we have another story about him again. You like to? Okay, this is called the golden elephant. Anyhow, this is a white elephant, but I changed it into golden. Since so many golden already, might as well have another golden elephant. Huh? Makes no difference to us whether it's white or golden. Or you would rather him white? Huh? Yes or no? Okay. So, this is one of the Buddha previous reincarnation before he became a human Buddha. Supposed to be, huh? Now, long time ago, near the foothills of the Himalayas, there lived a magnificent white golden elephant. He was the lord of 80,000 elephants again. How come? I think all the goose and the monkey reincarnate with him every time 80,000. And he reigned supreme over them. His only sorrow was that he had an aged and blind mother. Every day he roamed deep in the forest to gather wild fruits, and he sent the choicest to his mother with his followers. But these wicked elephants gave none of the fruit to the elephant's mother and ate it all up themselves. Wow. Nice to be a leader of a group like that. In the evening, when the elephant returned home, he used to ask his mother if she had eaten well, and she always replied that she had been given nothing to eat the whole day. Finally, the elephant decided to leave his selfish herd. One night, when all the other elephants were asleep, he led his mother away to Mount Kadorana, somewhere in the Himalaya. He found a cave close by a sparkling lake covered with flowering pink lotuses, and he and his mother lived there alone by themselves. One day, a forester from Benares, who had come to this area to visit his relations, lost his way and found himself near the lake. Frightened by his strange and unfamiliar surrounding, he began to lament and cry aloud his bad luck. The elephant, who was feeding in the lake, heard him and came out of the water. But at the sight of the massive beast of the forest, the person fled in fear. However, the elephant went after him and calling out, "Don't run! Don't be afraid. I'm not going to harm you. Come here and tell me why you are weeping." So the forester told him, "I have lost my way, O elephant, and for the past 7 days I have been wandering around in this terrible forest. Stop crying. I live here and I know the way out of the forest." The elephant lowered his trunk and, lifting the man onto his back, took him out of the jungle. The forester went on his way to Benares. On his return, he heard that King Brahmadatta's, again, state elephant had died a few days ago. Heralds rode about in the city proclaiming that if any man know of or has seen an elephant fit for the king to ride, let him come forward with the information and he will be rewarded richly. So the forester, in hope of reward, immediately went to the king and reported to him about the golden elephant and where he lived. He said he has even marked the way carefully himself, so he can go back to where the elephant stays. Not only now, but he already had the mind to capture the elephant the moment he was rescued. Can you imagine that? I'm sure that we will be able to catch the animal, the forester told the king. So the king agreed readily and sent his subordinate to go with the forester to catch the elephant, as well as a troop of soldiers. After a journey of many days through fields of ripe corn and fertile valleys, they arrived at the lake near Mount Kadorana. They saw the white elephant collecting tender lotus shoots for his blind mother to eat. The elephant scented the presence of humans and looking up saw the forester hiding behind a tree. He thought, "Oh, it is this ungrateful wretch who has led the king's men here. However, I am very strong. I can scatter 1,000 elephants. Doubtless, I will be able to kill these puny, but in doing so I may wound or kill several. I do not want to harm them. Let them take me to the king, and I shall then ask to be set free." So the elephant trainers went down to the lake. This elephant allowed himself to be led away by his long silvery trunk, a golden trunk. Evening fell, and the elephant's blind mother waited in vain for her son. She had heard the noise made by the king's men and realized that they had taken away her son. She began to weep most bitterly. "What am I to do now that my son has gone? Who will care for me? Blind and old that I am. My son is such a fine and noble animal. I am sure some king has taken him away to ride him into battle. Then he will be killed, and I will never see him again." So she was crying and crying. In the meantime, the white elephant has been brought to Benares. The whole city was decorated in honor of the king's new state elephant. State elephant. Just an elephant for the king, and the whole city was decorated. Can you believe this? Huh? Even though it's a Buddha's elephant, but they didn't know. Huh? Just for the king's sake. Now the trainers led him into a stable decorated with garlands of fragrant flowers. Oh, it's now very similar here. A lot of flowers. It's not fragrant though. And surrounded him with a finely painted screen. All sorts of tempting food was given to him to eat. But the elephants refused, all of them. In despair, the trainers went to the king and reported to him that the elephant refused anything. Everything that is put before him, he will pine away and die without any nourishment if it continues like this. What are we to do? So the king went himself to the elephant's stable and offered him food from the royal table. God, come, eat, great elephant. Why do you sorrow? Are you not proud that you have been chosen to serve your king? The elephant turned away his head and replied, "Sir, I will eat nothing until I am restored to my mother's side." "Where is your mother?" "She is at Mount Kadorana, sir. She is old and blind and must be in great difficulty now that she is alone. Without someone to feed and care for her, she will surely die." So the king was deeply touched by the elephant's concern for his mother and decided to set him free. "Go back to your mother, great elephant. Continue to look after her as you have done in the past." So the elephant went back to Mount Kadorana. He entered the cave and was overjoyed to find that his mother was still alive. Filling his trunk with water from the lake, he sprinkled gently over her. The blind elephant thought it was raining and cried out, "How does this rain fall out of season? What evil deity is near? If only my son was here, he would protect me." So the golden elephant went closer and falling to his knees, tenderly caressed his mother. Then she realized that it was her son and began to trumpet with happiness. After she knows that the king has set her son free, she was full of praise for the king. "Long live King Brahmadatta." Again, they always find each other, the Buddhas and the king of Benares. May he ever reign in peace and prosperity. The gods will shower blessings on him for his goodness in sending my son back to me. The elephant and his mother lived on near the lotus-filled lake, and he cared tenderly for her till the day she died. Then the white elephant himself passed away. The king erected a stone image of him by the side of the lake. Every year an elephant festival was held there, and the king and his subjects honor the memory of the noble animal. Finished. When you go to India, do you see some of the elephant image in the shrine? Some of the shrines in India? Huh? Or there is a god called Ganesh with elephant belly, elephant trunk, and the shape of elephant. The Indian people worship him. Do you see? You have not been in India, huh? Okay. Now, perhaps there was such an elephant, huh? Who has been so pious and devoted to his mother, and who is so good and kind, even though he was betrayed by men. He was still very kind and good. And now in this story, we can see that some of the human beings are not to be trusted. Huh? The elephant helped him carry him out of the danger, and then he sold the elephant. Actually, this story sounds very far-fetched, but it might be true too, because even in the modern time, we have heard of many stories in the newspapers or a true story about animals, wild animals, who rescue some infants somewhere because the infant was abandoned or maybe lost in the forest. They rescue them and raise them. So some people, like about 10 years ago or something, there was a Catholic priest who saw two little girls about 10 years old living together with a group of wild wolves. Yes, and they have no problem together. And the girls also walking by all four and hop around with them. And the wolves did do no harm to them, but raised them. That's why, perhaps from infantry, that's why they walk and they talk like a wolf, you know. They also howl like wolf in the night, and especially at the full moon night. And the priest took pity upon these girls, so he tried to get some troops of the army, soldiers, to go over there and try to capture the two girls back. Because even though they walk by all four, but they are still very slow compared to the real wolves. So they were left behind after the other wolves have escaped. But the priest only wanted the two girls anyhow, so he took the girls home and feed them, clothe them, and try to teach them human behavior and language. But the girls are not very adapted to the new situation, perhaps feeling lonely and strange. I'm still walking with the four legs now and again, and always try to escape. Even though she can speak some human language now and wearing human clothes and eating at the table, still she tried to escape because she probably feel missing the wolves very much. I think they accepted the wolves as their parents. So after they were taken away from the wolves, they didn't live long. One girl died after another. They don't adapt the new situation. Always they try to go back to where they belong. From this story, we can see that it was a true story, huh? From this story, we can see that even the wild and fierce animals, they do have love, and they do distinguish between a harmful human being and a little helpless infant. So they adopted them. There are some of the films for children we have seen similar to this story. Perhaps it comes from this story. The film comes from this story. So if we come to think about it, some of the animals truly are like human, and sometimes even better than some of us humans in terms of discriminating between right and wrong, between virtues and evil. So this is one of the best reasons why we should not eat animal. We should just leave them alone and live in harmony together. But what I mean is this story of the elephant might not be completely fiction, huh? Because even in modern time there are similar stories. So, all right, with this in mind, be happy that you're vegetarian and behaving good. Okay, have a good night. Huh?